theme time. Now this is what's going live.
Okay.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful.
You have two more
We're staffed
commercials.
with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate
Is there a way to call someone ahead of time and have them on hold and then join them? How do I do
If you
that?
guys are not on air right now, you can just give the
Want
mic,
to book an appointment with
dial the number,
Okay.
and just press hold, and that's it. All right, when you're ready to go, just make sure the phone is unmuted.
Right here, Vegas Raw Radio, uncut, unfiltered talk and music. VegasRawRadio.com. There's the phone number. The man, the myth, the legend, the mustache. What's up, Amari?
Hey, hi, how you doing?
Hey, hi. Hello, how are you?
Hey,
Hi.
pulling it together.
You guys ready? You ready? Okay. And right after that, I'm gonna stop it. You guys can start talking about it.
I think we're on for what, 50? 55?
Yeah, till 55. Just like you did last time. You wrapped it up. It was smooth transition.
Nice.
What's going on? We're
And we are
back.
back. What's up, guys?
Hi.
In the building, you got your boy, Phoenix Ryan here.
Mikey VIP.
What it do? What it do? Blended Bees in the building.
The blended beesies.
We're back.
In a real way.
Yeah, man.
It feels like yesterday. I miss you guys.
I mean, you know.
I know. It's been a long week. How's this week been for you, my brother?
What did I do? What did I do? I don't remember. It was cool. I don't even remember if I did anything cool.
Well, you're here, so
Yeah.
you made it through a week.
It's here.
Blessed.
We
That's
in the
what's up.
building.
Blessed.
That is what's up. This is our Friday the 13th show.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Friday the 3rd.
Raggy.
Man, I just went to the Halloween stores.
Yeah.
They're whack. They used to be like haunted houses. You know what I'm saying? Like you go into the Spirit and
Yeah.
you know the ones that were in Party City. They had the wall with all the dope masks and you know Donald Trump and Bush and you know now it's the cheesiest versions of each one that I just said. Like they used to have the
wow.
Predator mask.
The cliche.
Yeah,
I remember.
They used to have the dopest mask. Now, like, I just wanted a dope Jason mask, like the old school one with the hard, you know, the plastic, whatever it was. Now it's
Really?
the foam
Oh,
that
nah.
forms around your face.
Nah.
And that's
talking
it.
about it's gonna be like plastic, the real.
Jason Voorhees would be rolling over in his graves.
Because
Right
it was a
now.
hockey mask.
You said graves.
Graves, all of them.
Yeah, he died.
Crystal
how many
Lake.
times did he die?
Where else did he die? Crystal Lake. I mean, in the cabin. In
Frank killed him one time.
I mean, he's in hell. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was very discouraging. I'll tell you that.
All right, so since this is our, I guess, Friday the 13th show, we got to talk about some paranormal, spooky stuff.
Do you believe in the scary stuff and
Well,
in the spirits?
Well,
Dark spirits?
it's one thing to believe and it's one thing to know.
Okay.
You took that right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, there's certain things that I do believe,
Okay.
but there are other things that I have experienced firsthand and I know. So I don't need like ancient aliens. I don't need to watch,
Right.
you know, documentaries and programs. I don't need.
Because I talk to people who are religious and they don't believe in that part of the realm. They believe in there's dark spirits, but the dead are asleep. They have no idea what's going on. They're sleeping.
It's lack of knowledge. It's just a lack of knowing.
I think it's selfish to not believe that there's energy moving in around
Ultimately,
trying to find its home.
Look at it this way. At once upon a time, mankind they believed that the world was actually flat. Over the horizon, you would sail off the side of the planet Earth.
It's still flat Earth all day
Into
long.
nothingness. Oh, see, you on that flat Earth theory?
I'm entertaining. It's a dope conversation, but it's been dismissed so easily. Like, oh, it's not. It's like, well, why is the United Nations map look like that? Why is the old maps look like that?
That's all. My theory is just how, bro. Like, how would it be? It would be a flat plane. Like, how would it be? Like, he was high.
Who's been past Antarctica to tell the truth?
He's high. You see, I watch Vikings, so I know it's true.
Right.
It's one of my favorite programs.
Okay.
You know, so
Viking Quest?
Yeah, Viking. So like they sailed there, like they really did.
Entourage Viking Quest.
Okay, look, before we digress and take a trip to Norway.
Yeah.
What is the creepiest thing you've ever witnessed, Mikey?
Creepiest?
Yes.
I mean, I've had dreams, you know, nightmares, whatever. But as far as seeing something creepy, just movies, you know.
But nothing like in real life.
I saw a dead body on the strip once. You know, I've worked for florists, and I've had to deliver flowers and put them next to the dead body. Like, that's about it.
Okay, that's really not like any kind of paranormal.
No.
Your story sucks, bro.
It does suck, because I don't know myself in those scary ass situations.
But you like scary movies? Like what the hell is that?
I mean, people like to be scared. I mean,
Not me.
Okay, look, I have seen some stuff in my day. Okay, so what do we want?
I see crackheads on Sherm and shit. That's scary as hell.
That's normal. That's regular.
That's not paranormal. That's normal. Come on. Okay, so do we want to go aliens? Because I got an alien story, or do we want to go creepy?
No, just go creepy.
Just like we do.
Just go creepy. Like what's creepy?
That's all creepy.
Yeah.
Well, we was playing with the Ouija board.
Oh, here we go.
Oh shit. Okay.
The witch board. Oh, Ouija.
So yeah.
Now that you said that, I got one.
Oh, all of a sudden.
I didn't put that together. That was stored in the back of my brain where I was scared, and I shut it out.
Well, we all have a Ouija board story because I have several actually. Let's go.
Oh no, I was just saying I'm not left here, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Can you hear me? As long as you guys can hear me.
You
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so it was a slumber party, like, you know,
Ow.
total beginning to every 80s.
Shout out to Abby in the building. Can we just get this out of the way real quick?
I'm trying to
She's in
be
the
quiet
building.
as a mouse, but I am here.
That's Miss Hayes.
I'm sorry.
I get the
co-host.
diva fucking late appearance and shit.
I know, so late she
I
was first show.
apologize. Girl, yes. Let me
She
tell
just-
y'all what happened. So I
what
guess
happened
what happened was we had the mixer, you know, for Bragg
Yes.
Friday. I ended up at that address. So I'm like, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Where's the radio station? Everybody's like, there's no
Due to the
radio station
events
here.
of the week prior to that, yeah, we couldn't even pull the permits to do the party. I found out when I showed up.
Oh.
So I just was like, wow. After we left here, I was so hyped. I was happy. It was like, oh, I'm just going to go home.
Yeah.
And she couldn't pull the permits. So it's like, you know, certain establishments.
Had a very exclusive VIP mixer.
Yeah. Like the dispensaries can only pull one permit now to
Right.
do parties a month. And certain
Really?
establishments can only
Yeah.
pull
They're
two
like, yeah, y'all
permits.
can't be getting everybody high
Permits
over
now.
here and shit every day.
Yes.
Y'all
You can
can't
have
be
fun
like,
in regulation.
Right.
you must behave, children.
Moderation.
Ouija
Yes.
board. Let's go.
Yes,
Okay, so
let's
yes,
go.
okay.
I'm scared.
Hi, welcome. Okay, so yeah, so it was a summer party, and it was a dark, spooky fall night, quite like this time of year. And so there was probably like 6 or 10 of us at the house, and you know, we pulled out the Ouija board, and I thought for sure that someone was faking, you know, because there was no way.
So the shit does work.
Oh, this.
That's why I don't touch it.
Yeah, this was creepy. So all of a sudden the thing starts moving. And I'm just like, no. And then once we realized that there was no one actually moving it, you could tell by the fear in the other people's faces. I was like, oh my God. And so then it kind of got silly for a minute, but then when everybody went to sleep, it's not even creepy.
She's trying to set us up.
And then boom.
Notice the whisper. This is when it got crazy. Okay.
So all of a sudden we wake up in the middle of the night to one of the kids screaming. One of the little brothers was screaming. He was being pulled under the couch by some unknown force, and then things started shaking. It was just crazy.
How old were you when the
I was like, 11 or 12.
oh,
Hey,
Where were y'all parents letting y'all
outside of
play with
Ouija
the
board, real
board?
quick. Ever heard of the thing, like the Bloody Mary?
Yes, I used to
Okay,
play.
look, that's where the whole Candyman
Okay.
movie
Yeah,
came from,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
see that.
This is middle school for me.
Okay.
So we got a hold of it, of course. Because I remember trying it. And but not really believing that it was really gonna happen.
I still did never do it.
Hey, but the Spanish girl, I remember her name was Maria. She did it. They went in the closet in school with a mirror and she did it with somebody else. And all we remember was her like busting out of the room, face all red, screaming crazy, bro. We all, like I'm talking about the whole grade, our whole grade got in trouble. They had an assembly about it. They called everybody, was like, yeah, hey, if any of you guys, like anybody in all the rest of the grade get caught doing this again, you getting suspended.
Because there was Bloody Mary, and then there was Rosemary, I Have Your Baby.
What?
She would try
I
to
never
come
heard
to the
that.
mirror.
Come to the mirror.
That was
It inspired by real
Bloody
life.
Mary, though. I thought Bloody Mary came through the window. That's why we tried it.
Yeah.
Like, you called her and you were supposed to be dark.
yeah.
Well, we tried it. We were like, I'm going to say 5th graders at this, like, the after school program. We all hid. We covered the little thing, all dark and everything. And we had like a pocket mirror. So we're like, we going to do this. Ghetto status. So we all in there, ducked in there.
It's a ghost, not a genie.
Look,
Pocket mirror.
now tell me
She's like,
this,
Mary.
now let me tell you this, okay? This was what the freaky thing was. We were like, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. We're like, yeah, this mission don't work. When we like undo the things, the water, because you have to like throw water, I guess, and say 3 times. Why the water on the fucking phone was like looking like a claw, like coming down. Shit, crossed my heart, hope to die. I was like, never fuck with that shit again. I was not about to go in that bathroom by myself. I was like, let's try this pocket mirror real quick.
See,
never
people
again.
like Mikey, have people who like to be scared in the theaters and films, but don't want to be scared in real life.
Hell no. Like, I mean, I've been to haunted houses, haunted hay rides, and I don't do it no more. I mean, I think the last time I did that shit, I was fresh 21.
Haunted house one time, and my cousins forced me to do it. Coney Island one time. Nah.
The ones in Michigan
I was a kid though. I was a kid.
The ones here, the ones that reach out and grab you.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
See,
They
and
do
this
not
is, see, like, I'll be swinging. You know me, babe. I'm gonna swing. I'm like, yo, sup, don't touch me.
I remember in the beginning of this one, they had like the host would tell you, do not touch our actors. Yeah. And Hellraiser's right over my shoulder. And I remember being like 11, 12, and one of his little spikes touched me.
Pinhead.
Boom! And I gave him a right.
Did you
I
know
was a
that?
little kid, but I gave him a right because he touched me in my face unexpectedly. It was like a shoe fly, but with a right.
I mean, even if you feel a fly go by, you're gonna try and knock it out because you're so scared.
You know how many times I've seen
I know I
this guy get up the air? It was in his
Trey.
peripheral.
Trey from Boys in the Hood.
You
You motherfucker.
There's nothing there, babe. There's nothing there.
I did have a Ouija story that, like I said,
Yeah.
Ooh,
it was back in Michigan. It was a Halloween time, but supposedly we got in contact with the devil's wife.
what?
How would you know?
He got a
that?
wife?
The name was like, I forget what it was, but we had a woman's name, and the questions we were asking led it to be the devil's wife,
Oh wait.
and it spooked the shit out of us.
I mean, if I know her from the comic books,
I don't even
from
know what the
Marvel,
devil's wife's
she's,
name is.
She's Madam Death. Like I'm
Madam Death. I thought it was like
Madam Death.
Esmeralda or something crazy,
That's
but
I wouldn't.
Mary,
some
Maria,
exotic.
like
Hey!
That's our other co-host.
Hello.
Fine. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hey,
That
go
was-
ahead.
that was good.
I like the purple hair.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
I know.
You're very blended today. I love it.
Oh yes.
Yay.
Yeah, we got all colors and flavors today.
All right, something crazy. I mean, this is usually conversations that me and Mikey like would have over the phone, y'all. But we got a podcast now. We're like,
with the
so we're gonna share this with you. Okay, they're actually now looking for Starship Troopers. It's on the news. They're not calling them Starship Troopers. It's something like closer to the Galactic Police.
okay
But wait. No, not okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly, and that's what, and they use
Yeah,
use that on the news. But you can't just go
Sure, why
and
not?
start. NASA just can't go and start hiring people to protect the planet without first saying
Acknowledging there's other
why.
life.
Right.
Why? Yeah, you went directly
Hey,
past.
Want to be a Starship Trooper?
Yeah, every other nation.
What are these guys' credentials? Are they Navy SEALs or are they like
No, right now it's
For one out there, guys.
Channing Tatum? Like, is it like, who the hell is this?
For one out there, guys, there's a thing called the Disclosure Project, and that's been going on for a couple of years. Disclosure Project, you can look it up too, disclosure.com. Disclosure Project is a joint collaboration of several different countries submitting all of their information about flying discs, extraterrestrials, whatever you want to call it, because now it's all new names, whatever. But everyone has submitted all the information besides the United States of America. It's like Mexico, that they know, you know,
Right.
Japan or certain
Right.
places. I've spoke with people from these countries, and it's like it's kind of like part of their culture. To them, it's like, oh yeah, UFO I see when I was a kid, like yeah.
So they got like
Right.
alien
They
data and
have
shit?
channels. They have channels, and,
Particularly.
on their networks and their stations that just cover just sightings, UFOs, and what have you.
How can we be the
That would
last
be a
ones
fun
left
job
out?
to have.
Well, I guess maybe we're supposed to be the superpower, the whatever. I
Be the
can't
head of
answer.
Voltron? I mean, what's going on?
I just want to know, where do I sign up?
I don't got anyone out.
Really?
I'm the adventure type. Let's go.
Really? You out of here, Abby? You leaving us?
I'm not. Hey, I'm trying to get that exclusive. You know me. I'm always
well,
trying to get that
Well, you know,
exclusive.
SpaceX
This is my
is
thing.
really going crazy getting people.
I mean, you can't. Some people still, have problems flying on planes, boats. This is outer space, which is basically almost the same as similar as going in the ocean and just being under. Like you can't breathe. Meaning that. Are you not claustrophobic? Are you or are you not? You might get up there in the tube and just realize, like, I'm in a
I'm here by
cylinder
myself.
tube. Yeah, I can't go anywhere. I can't go outside. Like, I can't breathe. Like, how can I breathe? Well, I don't understand. Your brain messes with you.
Yeah, they were
Your
showing
brain
these,
can freak you out.
they were showing these bunkers that were multi-layered for people for end of the world days that rich people could buy. And I'm like, how do I feel about being 100 feet underground living my life?
Hold on, my guy. Did you
I'm
just
tripping.
imply that?
That reminds me
Did you
of
imply
that
that
movie.
the upper echelon are the only ones who are going to survive the apocalypse? Did he
I'm
just
just
sneak that in
saying,
there that
like-
only white people can buy?
Really?
Did I say white people?
Yes, you said only white people can buy.
I said rich
I
people.
just said really rich people.
Oh,
As far as
wait a
I
minute,
know,
black guy.
I mean, hey, who is
This
they,
is
motherfucker?
This is
I wanna know your
why,
friends.
look, this is why with the blended bunch, man, like we can get away with these things, like we're all longtime friends here, like races, we don't even see that, but we can get away with all, any kind of jokes that we would like to.
That's our disclaimer for later shows.
Yeah, disclaimer, because it's gonna get crazy, it's gonna get wow, wow, wow.
Don't judge me for what I'm about to say.
No judgment. please.
and you go again, Abby. You
What? Honestly, I hate roller coasters. I'm like a big chicken
See,
shit, so
this
I don't
the
know.
thing.
Yeah,
That's the
I
thing.
This
hate
is-
roller coasters.
But-
I'm gonna
that's-
go live in
But
space.
hold up. If it's about
the training,
I
you know
love
what I
people,
mean?
but I don't love people, so I wouldn't mind it. I'd be like, "Ew." Hold up. I'd have to have unlimited weed.
Nice.
Then I'll be okay. Then the claustrophobia, everything else will go out the way.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be like,
I just found out I was scared of heights.
really?
Like,
How?
Really?
I used to be,
How did you
I
find
flew
out?
on planes before, I've been, all that stuff. I went on that stupid ass, what's the Ferris wheel we have?
Oh, the
High
high
roller?
roller. Mm-hmm.
I went on there with my girl, and it got to the point where we were taller than the buildings, and I had to look at the floor and play Candy Crush for the rest of the half hour. For real, the rest of the half hour, I ran out of guys, and I told my girl, give me your phone, I'll do some levels for you real quick.
So
That was one of our first dates. Imagine, like, oh man.
That was like his go-to, like,
But
okay,
she
most
thought-
this is not happening.
Yeah.
I'm not
Like,
here.
like,
She
you
thought
gotta
I knew that I was
respect
scared of heights already, so she
Yeah.
looked at me like, oh, you went on that for me.
Oh,
I got some booty, but anyways, you know,
I mean,
Stay
the
for the
baby,
booty.
baby here right now.
I know, right?
stay perfect.
Something happened. The baby here, something happened.
Yeah. That's another story.
Yeah, but I don't
But
know.
I'm scared of heights. I'm scared to fly back home. I might take a train, Greyhound, like a 5-6 day Greyhound. So
So I take it you haven't been to the stratosphere?
I've never been on the roof. Nope.
No? Yeah, well, don't go if you just.
Yeah,
I mean, don't quote me on this, but rumor, you know, KRS Don't Fly and Fat Joe Don't Fly. I heard that they just starting now, but they would like KRS. I know personally would take boats.
Really?
Like, wouldn't even have to go do shows overseas with my brother.
He would take like shit.
He'd be like, "Hey, I'll see you when I get there. Like,
Right.
go ahead. I'll see you when I get there. Don't trust the planes. I'm gonna take a boat with me and my family. We're gonna sail over."
Or some people, that's why they got the bus tour. You know, the buses.
I know John Madden used to travel in a bus. Like he wouldn't fly.
I mean, look at what happened to La Bamba.
You know.
And Aaliyah, like they be like, I'm not taking those chances.
That was negligence with Aaliyah. I'm still not over that one. That was
Me
just
too.
straight negligence. But that was a lesson to me also too at the time. That's when I was. I mean, as a dancer as well. Shouts out to Fatima. Matter of fact, Fatima who actually shot the video. She's a really great long-time friend of mine. And that's the first person who actually I thought about once I was like, oh. You know, like, wait a minute, Aaliyah. Now, what about Fatima? Because she was there too, but she didn't take that particular plane. She didn't take that flight. We talked about it like afterwards. You know, really a devastating thing. But like, slow down. Like, slow down. And like, she was rushing, just shot her music video, doing her things. Like, okay, come on. Because I overheard that it was just too much weight on the plane and the pilot. He didn't want to.
Right.
Do it.
That's
Yeah,
what,
he didn't want to.
yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, he said
all
no.
of them went down is that they were just pushing the weight issues. They didn't take it serious.
Is that what happened with the big bopper?
See, I don't care how rich I get, y'all not getting me on those. Like the little planes, I'm like, I will ride with.
Have you ever rode one of those, the little
else.
mini planes?
No.
Yes.
Okay, I did it one time because I took a flight and it was, I guess, all the big planes were booked, so that we ended up like in the little craft. It was United. Man,
Oh, those
they,
are
the
little
turbulence,
yeah.
it's no joke. Like
No,
I'm like,
talking-
I'm cool.
I'm telling
Cool.
you, 6 seaters. Cessna.
Oh, you talk. Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder how those feel. But just this one, it was like maybe like 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
No, 20 at that.
And I feel like when you're standing, it just like hits your
Yeah,
head.
you're like this from the roof. Like literally, you're like, I'm like, woohoo! I was like looking at everybody like, haha, I'm sure.
I know, I'm like, I'm 4'10", this works for me right now.
Everybody's all walking like this.
You said I'm 14.
Are you 14?
I am.
Holy,
I
I'm
know.
taller than somebody.
I'm a legal midget.
Is that legal? Rick?
Yes,
Oh my
technically
No,
considered
baby, you're fun
handicapped, so-
size.
Okay, thank you.
That's what we call it, fun size.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take advantage and start getting a handy, you know, yeah, especially now in Vegas, I'm gonna leave you some
Take
handy.
advantage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're 4'10",
Yes.
you can be handicapped.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, 4'10" and
You get a
I'm
disability?
Yes, I can.
I'm so
Swag.
mad. I'm
Yeah.
so
Okay, I'm about to go measure myself one more time.
Oh, shit. Give me that $900 a month.
Right. Hold on. I don't mind being short now.
I'll
All
take
right.
it.
All right, AKA Smurfette. That's the new AKA right there. Maybe a
Oh.
Smurfette in the building.
Lil Uzi Vert.
Oh my God. Well, we have a couple of call-ins that we're going to have on the show today. I have a good friend, Hollywood, one star from back in the day, we played with TV, so I'm going to call him. Then we have our big friend, Mark Fortune, who's going to be able to talk to us about it. Pick his brain about some numerology. Know about Friday the 13th, the 13th.
I love
Because you
numerology.
do know like all the famous people like Elvis and all this, they have their own personal psychic. He's like
Yeah,
And
personal.
so do we.
But he's like
Ah.
our personal psychic.
Yes.
I love
I know a
it.
resident psychic.
Yes.
Well, I got some numbers.
On call.
Didn't Tupac get shot on Friday the 13th?
Did he?
Fact check. That's really like that. Nate, that's kind of like what you.
That's your job,
Yeah.
I'll
Fact check.
check it.
Yeah, while we talking and running our mouths,
Okay.
we can fact check that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That
Fact
was
check
a Friday
that.
the 13th.
Ah, you had to bring that up, huh, Mikey?
Because he died on the 13th and he was shot on the 7th, if I remember. September 7th and the 13th.
Supposedly,
He went to Cuba. That's when he was on his way to Cuba.
that was the supposed
Or Brazil. Somewhere.
DOA on the 13th was the supposed date.
I'm still on my Tupac shit. We did our interview with the paper.
That was a
But I'm still on my Tupac shit.
that was an amazing interview.
It was fun.
You are correct, Mr. Mikey. Ding, ding, ding. It was
Put one on the board
Friday,
for me.
September 13,
Thank you.
1996.
Thank you. Here all week.
Sex.
So Friday the 13th. Wow. On this
See y'all?
day.
So y'all don't think I'm playing, right?
I mean, but didn't we also just celebrate the anniversary of his passing away too as well, right? We called it last month, several weeks ago. Kind of weird still.
It's fresh on my brain. I don't know why he's so relevant to me and just the hip hop scene. I don't know. I watch stuff on the internet all the time about Tupac stuff, about Quad City and Haitian Jack and all these characters, and still talking about how bad the movie was and how good it could have been, and
Right.
you know.
I just seen it, y'all. I was all late.
It was too much of a story to tell.
Oh yeah.
I just believe it.
They tried to sum up 6 years in 2 hours. More than that. I mean, just the half of the movie was about, you know, his time in the industry, and then you had 20 some other years to talk about that he was, I mean, from his mom and all that other stuff. They just tried to cram it in there. That should have been
but most of the
series
was really transparent. I mean, if you was alive when he was alive and you knew him, like his stuff was in your face. It was all on the news. You know?
Yeah.
All transparent stuff anyway.
Yeah. Shout out to Tupac. I know you're listening.
If you're alive, stay and hide.
So do anybody here have any family members know of anyone who has ever been so-called abducted, taken, any interaction? Because that's like there's close encounters of all the way to the fourth kind. This is like the first kind, second kind, like interaction with them.
Not alien stuff. My mom had an experience at the old house where
You would call it paranormal? You
Yeah.
would call that paranormal?
Yeah.
In the realms of paranormal.
where you know they say that what is it, where it paralyzes you can't move.
Paralysis.
Paralysis. So she tells me the story, and you know, we used to live on a house over off by Sam Boyd Stadium, and she would hear doors slamming all the time. When I'm home, not home, when I was in Mesquite, whatever. So she would do the white-legged thing, go explore the house and make sure there was no doors shut.
No.
Hey, is there anybody? You know, whatever. Shout out to my mom. But she told me it's horrible, the stereotype. So
And we do it too.
So she's in bed one night, she tells me, and she said that there was a dark figure at the foot of her bed, and it touched her leg, and she said that she couldn't scream.
Dark nigga at the end of the bed who touched her leg.
Take it easy. Take it easy. So he was a white dude. He was a Mexican dude. But anyway, it was a dark figure. She said she didn't see no characteristics. Wearing a Klansman hat. But so it touched her leg, and she's tried to scream. She couldn't do it. And then it walked around the other side of her bed to her and tried to. She said it touched her arm or something.
Yeah.
And she closed her eyes, opened them, and it was gone.
Okay, I associate to study that these beings that they choose to call extraterrestrials. First of all, the word extraterrestrial, terrestrial being the Earth, just the name for planet Earth, and anything extra being something from extra from outside Earth.
Yes.
Let's get that out the way. I just I see them as to me they're whole light beings. You know, they're just beings who some of them vibrate on a different frequency, which we call this the third dimensional plane. The dimensions are frequencies, like the many different so-called parallel Earths lead into the whole Mandela Effect and CERN and how they merged out, by smashing atoms together, reformed the whole Big Bang Theory and merged our universe with a neighboring universe, which is why this is supposedly not our universe like we all knew it and grew up knowing this universe. But there's some people who, a lot of these misspellings of things like Ford and all these, they remember. But I distinctly remember, Luke, I am your father.
Oh yeah. Luke, I am your father. Then what they say it changed to?
No, it's not there anymore. It's just not there. See, the first thing was like the Chewie thing with me, with Chewbacca, like Star Wars. I was like, see, now that would be the thing to really get at me, because I'm a super duper Star Wars buff.
Right.
Then they got encyclopedias and everything about it. And so when I look back at the movie, I'm like, no, this is really not right. That I remember Chewie distinctly getting a metal tool, and at the end of the movie, he's doing this little,
yeah,
and that's, and that was it.
But I thought that was on the re-edition.
It no longer exists
What?
in Hollywood history, as well as
Oh, wow.
As well as the part in the Matrix where Morpheus is speaking to Neo about, you know, what is real? How do you define real? To make sure,
Right.
I had that as a sample on an album I did called Secret Wars and a song called Into the Portal. If you guys who know me, Phoenix Orion, y'all got my music, you know my stuff out there. Listen to that song right now. Listen to the beginning of it, where the sample used to be. You're gonna hear when the music dropped out. Now, that was scary for me, Mikey, because that was like my own personal Mandela. Yeah. It fucked me after that. After that, I was really like, I needed to come. I didn't want to believe that it was even real or something like that could really happen. Because I'm like, if this is really for real, okay, I was like, let's say this is real. What else has changed?
Right. I mean, we've seen the things, the Berenstein Bears and the Sex in the City.
Not Sex in the City.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I don't remember Sex in the City. But that Forrest Gump.
The Scarecrow having a gun in The Wizard of Oz.
Get the fuck out of here.
What?
Yo, man, the Scarecrow has a gun in The Wizard of Oz. The original Wizard of Oz version, black and white, the Scarecrow has a gun in his hand.
So he's a stick-up kid.
You're gonna have to find that and send that to me.
There are several different. I got them like right now. Like, literally, I'm such a nerd, guys. I already wrote down over 100 Mandela effects that'll freak you out.
Wow.
The Forrest Gump, you know, the life is like a box of chocolates.
Come on, man.
Then it's life was like a box of chocolates.
They did it. It's the same.
And then it's even quoted on the box.
It's the same thing with the Grinch who stole Christmas.
The Grinch who stole Christmas. What is it now?
It's just something like the Grinch that stole Christmas.
Hold on.
All of these things have changed.
I think it is that.
Bro.
You're right. That is right.
Yeah. The Berenstein Bears.
No, come on. I knew that from a kid.
As soon as they tried to, I was like, what? And then there was stuff that was dismissive, like the logo from Coca-Cola changed. I'm like, okay.
Oh, it's how the Grinch stole Christmas.
Whoa.
Not the Grinch who stole Christmas. It was always the Grinch who stole Christmas.
Right.
Now
The
it's
Grinch who stole
how the
Christmas.
Grinch stole Christmas.
Now it's how the Grinch stole Christmas.
Was that the movie or the book? Like,
They're saying
change?
that's the book, dear.
Let's call Dr. Seuss.
Well, I just went to the Wikipedia.
Let's clarify.
Another one that freaked me out was on the song "We Are the Champions." Again,
Queen.
nerd white boy. I love rock music.
Hey.
And what's my guy who does the karaoke in the car? What's his name? He does karaoke in the car.
The comedian, the English guy.
White guy.
Yeah, I love him. Anyway,
Fun.
you guys know him out there.
Yeah.
Karaoke in the car. He did it with George Clooney. Was in the car with him and several other A-list actors, and it was all like at the end of the song, "We are the champions." It was like, dun.
No time for losers.
The very, very last notes when he said, dun,
of the world.
Thank you.
don't exist anymore.
What?
Doesn't exist anymore.
Nowhere.
Can't find it.
That wasn't rehearsed right there.
It's on no recordings, Mikey. See, things like that sparked me.
Now that's got to be kind of,
bro.
That's real. That's
Everybody in the car, including George Clooney and all of them, was like, they did that, and they all looked at each other like,
Where'd it go?
Yeah, where's that part in the song?
What?
There's also
How about this?
There's
I like that shit.
A Michael Jackson song. A Michael Jackson song.
Say
The lyrics are going from from one of the Michael Jackson songs to I forget. There's another rock song where the lyrics of his song has been changed. What's the It was Me and Jay, the one we was talking about, and he even tripped out because his lyrics is changed, and he tweeted, "Yo, this is some Berenstein Bears shit right here." The lead singer of his own song said, "This is some Berenstein Bears shit right here." He knew what he wrote and sung in the studio. His song has changed, bro.
What? Yeah, you have to look up to the Mandela
Say it
and see
ain't
how
so.
it affects you, man.
Yeah.
There was some ones that really shook me up from my childhood that I was just like, no.
What I'm gonna do, guys, like I said, I'm a nerd. I wrote down over 100 of them. I'm just gonna post them inside of this one. Yeah, when I post this video.
I want to dedicate an entire month to the Mandela effect.
Yeah, when I post this video, I'm gonna put a couple in there, and I want you guys to check and keep rechecking, because I mean, this is something that I couldn't really talk to my dad about, but I did call him because I met Mandela real life.
Okay. What year was this?
And this is when he came home from prison. This was like 19.
This was after he died?
This was, oh, look.
Right.
This is
him
what tripped me out.
Dying when I was in high school.
He came to New York City with Winnie Mandela, came to Brooklyn. He had went to all the 5 boroughs in New York City. My father being working in the community.
Because he won the Nobel Peace Prize, right?
David Dinkins was the mayor. I want people to fact check and do some of the fact checks is what I'm saying. David Dinkins was the mayor at the time. If I'm correct, because I called my dad, I remember I called my rhyme partner at the time. So it was somewhere between, it was like either 93 or 94, somewhere around that time when he came. And I remember after performing on the stage, I'm sitting on the side, I'm looking at him and Winnie Mandela. And I remember bursting into tears, crying. And saying to myself, I thought he was dead. I thought he died in jail, and I was never going to get a chance to meet him. Because, I mean, I spent a lot of time with my dad and, you know, and him, you know, like doing a lot of community work, like I said before, with, you know, like Betty Shabazz or like Malcolm X's wife. Like, my family's where we, you know, Mikey knows me, guys. So, yeah, like that. I mean, with the, you know, with the Shakur family, like we were close to that. So I grew up around these, you know, around these people. So, but I never had a chance to meet a Malcolm or meet like, that's my father's best friend. You know, I got my real name, Muhammad Ali, from Muhammad Ali, who was my father's, another one of his best friends. And I'm like, wow, these great dudes, like in history, like, will we ever have those type of individual people again? So to me, seeing Mandela that day was like, yo, it's Mandela, don't wait, don't die, don't wait.
Yeah.
And not until a friend of mine brought up this whole thing, the Mandela Effect, that it even, again, not quote unquote, affect me when I had to think about, wait a minute. That's correct. The Billy Graham thing blew me. That threw me for a twist because I know Billy Graham passed away. Why is Billy Graham like 101 years old right
Well, you know what killed me about the Billy Graham thing is when I saw the video.
The evangelist Billy Graham.
Yeah, the video of President Bush crying at his eulogy. Speaking at his eulogy, but now in this reality, Billy Graham is still alive.
Super duper weird. All these misconceptions, yes, about things and stuff. And then you still got all the cartoons, you know, saying like you know, I'm your father, all this kind of stuff. Even in Lucy, when Lucy, you got some explaining to do, don't exist anymore. What? Don't exist anymore. That's what I said. They fucking playing
That's
with
another
me.
fine mess you got us into.
Laurel and Hardy. Change.
That's
I'm like, dude, you playing with like, this is pop culture.
Right.
You can't just change pop culture and not expect like fools like myself, like people in pop culture to not recognize like that's not the way that went. Like who edited that?
Yeah.
You know? So that's what's up with that, like Mandela Effects. We'll get into
Check
that.
it out
like
for
you said.
yourself. Look, go up on YouTube and do your own research.
Yeah. Is that a caller?
This is
That
a
is
caller.
a caller,
That
yes.
is our caller.
I think I know who this is.
Ooh. Caller. Hello.
Hey, man, it's Tags Woman. How you doing?
Hey.
Buddy. You liking the conversation we got going on, brother?
The conversation you guys are having right now, I'm yelling at, like, I'm yelling at the fucking screen and shit. Like, oh, sorry, look, I gotta watch my mouth. Look.
No, you don't.
No, you know, this is our show, you know. Say what you want to
You think
say.
I would have signed up if I had to wash my mouth?
Freedom of speech.
Right? So, you know, like, shit's changed. You know, you start noticing things have changed. Well, I always wonder, you know, if there's been, they called other things before, they went to the Matrix, shit like that, you know what I mean? But, you know, all energy moves in waves. That's what I said. You can see energy. If you ever looked at a waveform or
It's so funny, Tags.
or a cardiograph even, you can see energy. Well, when energy is moving in waves, I mean, it's time when you talk about the multiverse, these are big waves, and when they get close to each other, so that's when jumps happen. So I always thought, like, maybe possibility is you died a bunch of times throughout your lifespan, but your consciousness just jumps to the next dimension.
The next possibility. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would have went left and right.
Yes.
That's why you're on, you know, you don't get to see a gap at all. But who knows? We go to sleep every night too. So you may jump into a new one. Your consciousness, you wake up with a new one.
Tags, I remember you telling me at the bar one night that, you know, time moves in spirals and they overlap, and that's how you get paranormal and ghosts, and, you know, your energy moves in a spiral, and, you know, I almost quoted you and then your ass texted in, so that's pretty dope. You told me this on a drunken night at a copper keg or something.
I want to see Phoenix's list.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna post it. Shameless plug. By the way, guys, this is Tags on the phone. He's our artist from Campfire Music. Also, what's this? ISI Group. Basically top group right now.
Oh yeah,
when it comes to art in town.
Shout out to Phil and Dana. You know, they're running the art world out here for us and making this culture look even better than it is. And you know, Tags is the graphic designer for all my Devil's Nights. You know, which is coming up, by the way. Me and Tags is in a movie also, by the way. Remember the movie we did, Tags, the zombie movie?
Yes, I'm pretty sure, man.
See, this one over here claiming she loves me. She don't want to see my movies because I ain't take my clothes off in movies. Expect me to watch all her movies because she taking her clothes off because I got clothes on in my movies and shit. You know, she don't want to see me, none of my films.
Right.
My films don't right now I got one sitting on, right around on the Netflix, on the Amazon Prime, just sitting there. Think she want to watch it? Nah.
I get naked in my movies.
The one we're in is called YouTube.
Jax, I found it. I found an extended trailer online. All right, y'all gonna laugh. It's called Astro Zombies 3. Now, what was funny to me about that was the fact that there was a 3. Yeah, we were in part 3. So it was me, Tags, even Marquis. Shouts to Keys and stuff. And we were all inmates. And in the film, it was a sergeant who took us out to the desert here in Vegas to dig up, to bury, right? We was burying alien bones.
We were searching.
For extraterrestrial bones or something, right? And then when they found the bones, he was like, "Thank you for your service, gentlemen," and he shot and killed all of us. You can see it right now. It's on YouTube. Astro Zombies 3.
You died pretty.
Yeah, it doesn't sound pretty.
Dude, I was loving it. I was like, I get to die in a movie.
So how many seconds did you actually get?
They showed me like 3 times in it, like all together.
It's called me one day, right?
It's 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's pretty solid.
Hey, you want to be a zombie in a movie? Yes.
I called the right person though, Tags, because I know I was like, because they asked me to bring certain people. I was like, Tags would love this. I called you and he said, yes, I'm there. Okay, through.
Before you guys get back to the conversation, I just wanted to interject a little bit. I love the show. Keep doing it.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for calling in, man. Have a good day.
It's always nice to talk to like-minded individuals, people who we don't have to convince of these things. The people who, you get it, bro. You get it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right,
brother. Thank you. Tags 1 on the phone there, guys.
Good guy.
So,
what we talking about?
Back because you pinged the server, Mikey, when you said paralysis. In Native American, in nigga culture, with black people, they call it with the witch riding your back. And I remember being in a room with a friend, and she said it too. She's from a different part of the world. Black as well. She's like, oh, and my mother and them used to call it the witch riding back. And I'm like, this is, again, predated Google. Now I have Google, I have Wikipedia, so I rush to Google Wikipedia. Start looking into the witch riding your back. It sent me to sleep paralysis. I called my dad. I'm like, because it's right. Because I remember several times my parents telling me about times where they was in that paralyzed state of sleep, but you're like kind of in REM sleep, and you sleep awake half in and out of consciousness. That's how they call it. It's not.
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's see.
It's just going down.
Ooh. Hey, what's up? Blended Podcast. You on the air? What we got?
Oh, hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Ow. Okay, look, this is one of my long good time friends here. Okay, and I met Miss Stacey, otherwise known as the original Playboy TV way back in the day. So she's gonna validate my crazy.
Playboy TV. What were you doing on Playboy TV?
You guys, it's like kind of sounds like an echo.
Oh, you have an echo.
Feds is watching.
Am I on speaker?
Yes, you are.
No wonder I got it.
We got you.
Because everybody wants to hear me, right?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I know. All right, witch lady, what's going on with you?
Me?
Yeah. Do you have any kind of crazy?
Well, get ready for a party now, because it's Friday the 13th.
I know. So what are you doing on Friday the 13th?
What are your plans?
Well, tonight I'm going to Hitman in Hollywood. There's a party and they have like a dab bar. So.
Yes.
Ooh.
Getting dabbed out.
Wax face.
The Hollywood thing, you know.
And take some dab naps.
Love it. Do you have any
Dab nap it.
Do you have any spooky stories to share?
That's funny.
Any spooky stories to share with us?
What's that?
Oh, you can't hear me.
You have no
I'm
spooky,
listening to
you have any spooky Friday the 13th stories to share?
Oh, no, but I can kind of chime in on what I heard you guys talking about earlier with the paranormal experience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
What are you, what's your take on the paranormal?
Well, I mean, we know we've got our own little psychic experiences that we can talk about, but the one that stuck with me the most was going to New Orleans. And I was visiting there, took a boyfriend on a quick trip, totally random, birthday surprise. And our last night there, we are asleep. We had been partying all night. Amazing place. But you feel the heavy, heavy, heavy spirit there. But anyway, we're asleep. Probably like 4 or 5 in the morning, and we're both woken up. Like something had grabbed us by the feet and was throwing us all over our bed. And we both woke up in a shock. Our windows were wide open, which we wrote that, but you feel the humidity and just, we just looked at each other, just our hearts racing. We knew something just happened.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yeah, I've been down to the French Quarter. It's crazy down there. You can just feel it.
It is.
You can feel it down
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And if you're sensitive at all,
Yeah, there are a lot of shamans and voodoo priests and priestess down there. So they're doing a lot of work. They do a lot of blood sacrifices. So the spirits are kind of like, they're running wild in that particular region of the United States, I would say.
Yeah, anywhere where there's a lot of history, like especially the South, especially like New York City or something like that.
there.
All the history there, the violence, things that happened. You think about,
And the energies that linger.
That's why the Ghostbusters are there.
See, but you got to think about why make a movie like that. Like, why make things like dream catchers? Like, why make these things if somebody didn't experience something?
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's always some truth in some Hollywood.
oh yeah, I own
Yes.
in a house.
The
That's a
Bible.
whole nother topic.
Look, Moses. Why wasn't Moses afraid of the burning bush? Now, keep it real. A burning bush that's speaking to you. Any other person would be like, yo, that bush talk to me, man. Like, what the you know what I mean? Like, what the
cause of mushroom tea and wine in the desert.
Well, could be a little of that. Could be a little
Dehydration of wine in the
very
desert.
comforting, actually, when you need that.
Well, what happened was.
Look, the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel said he's seen a wheel within a wheel. To me, that's like the historical version of a UFO sighting in the book of Ezekiel when you read it. Like Ezekiel 1, start reading Ezekiel 1. It's just weird how, the wheel within the wheel, and wherever the creatures went, the wheel followed. Now, did they even have wheels back then? Let's start there. Like, what do you mean a wheel? Like, what? Because the ancients, they best describe things with their vocabulary and their terminology. If you've never seen a dragon, what, you don't know. It could have been a UFO, but to them it was like, oh, that was the dragon. It was a fiery tail. It was flying. Hey.
Well,
Have
you ever
like
seen-
that you touched on time, the vortex of time.
Oh, I am a time traveler. Time is my
really,
worst.
really cool.
Time is my worst enemy.
About this. I think the thing you talked about are
Yes, like the film.
happy that I'm hearing now. I expected this.
yes.
But I don't hear too many other people talking about it.
Have you ever heard of the Philadelphia experiment?
Yes.
Hey.
What's that?
Philadelphia experiment is they took a ship, U.S. Army, like a full naval ship, and teleported it from one place to another. It's called the Philadelphia experiment. It supposedly didn't happen, but there's films about it. There's a movie about it. You know, that's another one for you guys for all your paranormal guys. That's an older one, like the Philadelphia experiment. That's going like way back, like that's like Roswell days. Well, actually, that's like after they got the technology after the Roswell crash, which allowed them to be able to teleport and do all these other sickle things. I have a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, out back in LA. Like his dad, you know, I definitely can't say any of the names. His dad was in the military, and he knew I was a huge like sci-fi and paranormal buff. And he started giving me tapes of these meetings that certain individuals. Okay, J. Edgar Hoover is one of them. These guys were just like, right now how we sit and have a little podcast, they will be amongst themselves, you know, just talking about their experiences and things that they like. Okay, Linda Moulton Howe, she's a well-known like author as well. With The Glimpses of Other Realities is one of her books. Like I'm huge, but back then that's when you had to read books. There was no, you know what I mean? We had to read a book. Like you had to really, if you wanted to know something, you had to study it, look it up. Remember going to the library and looking up old like newspapers, like and clicking.
Microfiche.
Yes.
Love it.
This is what it was cool. I just seen a recent article too. They're bringing typewriters back.
Shout out to the Dewey Decimal System.
Amen. I love it.
I still got my hibiscus.
Do you have an Encyclopedia Britannica? I'm missing one. My den smells of rich mahogany wood and leather-bound books.
Real messed up saying they used to say, if you want a black person to know something, put it in a book.
Had it in a book.
Wow. But it was messed up when I found that to be true. So, you know, after it wasn't cool for me, I was the book reader and the bookworm, and my own people wanted to beat me up for reading books. Like dudes really literally in my hood. Everybody know I ain't no sucker, but like seriously, almost getting into fights because I literally, because I know more than you, because I've read something, I deal with the real world and actual facts, and I'm making you feel some type of way because you can't even say a specific word.
Yeah.
And I'm like now.
A Pacific word?
Now you see, that was a fact. I was trying to say like what? Pacific.
Are we down by the Pacific?
The Pacific Ocean. To be specific.
Oh my god. Okay, well, we're just about running out of time.
No.
Almost. I know.
No.
I love you. Thanks for calling in. Call again next week. Just
come in.
I mean, you guys, because you said your show, like you didn't talk about your show. You had a show on Playboy TV.
We did.
Oh yeah, that lifetime. Yes, I've had many shows on Playboy TV. I was on Just Sex, and I met this Inari over there on, was it Night Call?
It was Night Calls, yeah. And Sex Work.
I was probably on most every show that they had for around 10 years on and off.
Did you guys get a chance to meet Hugh? Did you ever interact with him?
Kind of to appreciate how Miss Inari is feeling with you throwing her under the bus without taking her clothes off until
we like being naked. Yeah, you actually got to spend a lot of time at the mansion with
that. You know, and then of course they always say, do what you love, and we're doing what we love then, we're doing what we love now, like, you know, cultivating cannabis. You know,
so you did a lot of investment.
Well, let me tell you, I enjoyed the squiggly version because I couldn't pay for Playboy TV. I used to watch the squiggly version.
Nice.
I might have caught a nip or two, but I just wanted, just say thank you for what you guys did.
What's crazy, Holly, is like after talking to Inari and finding out like she was actually on the show and I put two and two together, I was a PA on the show. And that's when we met.
No, I know.
When I lived in California, I PA'd on a couple of the shows that played with Night Calls. They played with TV.
Prince Albert? What's PA? What are you talking about?
That's production assistance.
Oh, I thought you were like a stunt cock.
Not a buffer. Not a buffer.
Stunt cock.
I was not a fluffer. That's what I didn't say in the industry. Fluffers don't even exist. So to say.
Oh my God. All right, well, hey, I love you very much. Have fun on your adventures tonight. Thanks for calling in.
Be safe.
Yes.
Take a dab in honor of all of you.
Indeed, you have some dab and fulls up in this crib right now.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Love you guys.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Love you.
Okay, thank you.
So you guys just keep it with Hugh Hefner? And you guys down low, just turn that all the way down?
She spent a lot of time at the mansion. She's got a lot of
Crazy.
I want to hear all the wild stories.
Rest in peace to Hugh. Rest in peace. I had a chance to go to one party at the Mansion Trust. It was wild. Abby, like, because I consider myself a freaky dude.
It was like something.
So when I get out freaked, that's when I'm just like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
You guys going to Grotto?
Bro, there was one room, like, okay, see, I probably shouldn't have went into the fetish room first. I'm such an extremist.
No, it was over right
I'm
there.
such an
He's like,
extremist.
where is it popping right now? Let's go ahead and turn it up.
Damn it. I'm an extremist, dude. I was like, nah, I'm not even, I don't need all of that. I'm going straight to where it
He said, I walked in with a condom on. Let's go.
If you're gonna do it right.
Yeah, it was buck wild. You know, with like mask and spanking and snot. I was like, okay, like,
Wow.
yeah.
Leather chaps.
Yeah. That's so funny when you finally get there and think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna perform now. I'm gonna sling it. I didn't. Hey, look,
Did it smell funky in there?
Yes, of course.
Let's get down to the scene.
You want to know.
One thing that was cool, I mean, we were doing lots of paraphernalia. You know, we were doing lots of drugs.
Well, I would think you have to.
Yeah, and there was no window in
Yeah.
that particular dungeon. It was a dungeon. That's what they call it. Right?
Yes.
And so there was. I'm a freak. I'm
I
not
can imagine the smell of Liz Claiborne in the air. So, brute, you know.
Mixed with ass juice.
Oh,
I mean,
Sweaty.
mixed with booty sweat.
it smell like Black and Mild in there.
I mean, come on, like you wouldn't lick the hairy belly booty sweat like booty sweat like this. Certain girls, you would have to make an exception for.
Oh, look at the time.
Yeah,
Wow,
right.
well, we digress real quick.
Oh, baby.
Booty juice on the tap.
All right. Well, hey, I would like to remind everyone you can follow us on Twitter.
And
The blended bunch.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So this is the cast that everybody should get used to right here.
This is the cast, man. This is,
Yes.
this is the bunch, y'all.
we got the Asian persuasion over there.
Mhm.
I can't even. Yeah.
So
I'm somewhere there.
Listen, we'll get it together, y'all.
turn
Cameras and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We get it
Yeah, you
together
gotta
for y'all, man.
like turn it this. There you go, girlfriend. You better tell them who you are.
Sammy Smurfette in the building.
Girl, you better not move it.
Another insane episode.
We are the Blended Podcast on all social networks, spelled Blended Podcast, y'all. Y'all check us out, man. Shouts out to WBKE Vegas Raw Radio, man. Y'all check us out. Y'all check out. First, download the app too, man. You download the app. Like that's what I've been telling my family members. Like that, how did I hear you on the stage? You download the app. It's real easy. It's real simple. It's right there in the App Store, available for iPhone and Android, man.
I don't know what's the
And
name.
just
What's the name?
it's-
Blended?
No, the WBKE, yeah, the radio.
Okay, so look
Yeah,
for that, y'all.
yeah, it's the app for the station, y'all. So y'all download the app for the station. Like I said, it's real simple, real easy to use, and they syndicated in a couple different places, some countries, and a couple of different islands. I was like, whoa, that's nice to know. So, and it's real, like I said, it's real simple. You switch to Vegas if you want to hear Vegas.
VegasRawRadio.com.
VegasRawRadio.com. Blended Podcast.
Thank you.
And follow me on Twitter. I don't even do Twitter.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
Appreciate you, man. Every time. It's only gonna get better,
I know.
better, better. Not that it's bad now. Who's bad? Who's bad? Who's bad?
Shalom.
Are you talking about me?
Are we
She's what? She's a CEO.
We got tickets to this Far Side show coming up with the Licks. And how come? Is it tonight? No, November 4th.
Okay, there's a show at We's Lunch tonight with the Lick series.
All right. We had Swift here last week. He didn't tell us nothing about it.